Hi guys, welcome back to Beauty Within. It's Felicia today, and so we were thinking about content, moving forward given the situation we're given, and you can't look forward without, reflecting a bit on the past, right? Which then gave us the idea of doing this video. And so looking at some of our successful viral videos, we realized we've come a long way because the relationship you have with yourself, with your skincare, it's all this like ever evolving process. Every day is different and we learn something new. So for this video, we thought it would be really interesting to review one of our best videos, which is the 5 skincare combinations that cause breakouts and inflammation in your skincare routine. This one has 2,075,000 views right now. So we thought it'd be really interesting to revisit this video, go back in time. This was shot in 2008. June 15th, and it was the first of our kind of like do not mix compilations, and I'm just going to commentate and give you guys like insights about what happened during the process, talk a little bit about maybe updated information, maybe information that we said incorrectly, because like skincare has trends, skincare, there's a lot of misinformation. We might have even added to that misinformation, and a lot of growing has to do with coming back and like revisiting what where we came from. So I think this is the way forward, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, I really didn't want to do this. I was just like stalling for a good hour or so because I'm like, every time you have to look back at a previous video of yourself or just like listen to yourself, you're just like, get me out of here. So without further ado, let's play the video. Oh God. Let me just 2 years ago, here we go.
Some things in life just don't go together. Now that everyone is into product layering, sometimes there are certain ingredients in certain skincare products that should not be mixed together. So today we're going to save you.
Oh God, okay, I just stopped it when it came to me. Okay, so brief little intro. If you guys have been with Beauty Within or even Asian Beauty Secrets, you'll know Mia was the original host. She was the one who started the channel, and it was once called Asian Beauty Secrets. And around this time, this was probably 6 months into it, we changed it to Beauty Within, and we were still kind of like figuring out how to film it because Mia was in Australia, I was in New York, and she was filming from her house, I was filming from our studios, and we just kind of like spliced it together. And yes, I think this whole like how to layer skincare was becoming a thing. Like, this was before people were really looking into ingredients that much, but they were starting to be aware of skincare routines and all the different items. I think K-Beauty and the 9-step, skincare routine was out, and everyone was just a little bit collectively confused, which was how we got this idea. Okay, continue. I just came on. Ew. I'm pretty self-deprecating, but I'm not negative or anything, just FYI.
Guys, the painful process of trial and error, and we're going to show you 7 of the most harmful skincare combinations that you could be using in your skincare routine right now. So make sure you stay until the very end, because a lot of these ingredients are probably in at least one of the products that you're using, whether it's a serum, a toner, a moisturizer. So before we share our secrets, make sure you join the family and hit that.
Okay, that's true. So the main topic we wanted to really talk about was active ingredients. So active ingredients meaning like a vitamin A, B, or C, BHAs, AHAs, kind of like the potent ones we see a lot of that might not go well. Lol at this like black sporty stretchy t-shirt I had on. And I had short hair.
So before we share our secrets, make sure you join the family and hit that subscribe button, and make sure the bell is also clicked so that you get notified when we post a new video.
Sonic brush and exfoliants. Okay.
This is probably one of the biggest mistakes people make. There are 2 main types of exfoliants on the market. There are the physical and the chemical. Now, physical exfoliators can include like loofahs, granules, exfoliators. You have sonic brushes like these, anything with texture on it that basically wipes away or physically taking away dead skin cells. And of course, there are also the chemical exfoliants such as
things with glycolic acid, AHAs, BHAs, chemical peels, and microdermabrasions and things like that as well. Exfoliants aren't bad. They're actually great because without exfoliating your skin, you're not allowing your skin to absorb the nutrients that you put on afterwards. A lot of people think that because
very true. Okay, so Mia just said exfoliants aren't necessarily bad. They help our skin absorb all the ingredients that we put on. Very true. Because if you think of your skin, your dead skin, we generate it every day. It creates a very crusty layer if sometimes we overproduce and we don't slough all of that dead skin off. It creates this barrier that makes it very hard for our skincare products to penetrate. We still stand by that 100%. We talked a lot about like sonic brushes and stuff, and I think in the whole skincare realm, we've seen this shift towards a more gentler approach. So I think like back in the day, what was that other one? It's like the Clarisonic, these swiveling brushes. They had their moment, but compared to right now where we are, we definitely don't use it as much. And RIP to scrubs. Goodbye, St. Ives. Walnut shells be gone. Yes, gone are the days of those harsh, quite abrasive scrubs because they do cause really fine micro tears in our skin. And, you know, once again, going back to the more sensitive, more gentle approach, I think in terms of skincare trends, it's a much better way to go about it.
Exfoliate no matter what skin type you are, because our skin renewal is 28 days and we're producing new skin every day. If you don't remove the old layer, the new skin's not going to come up bright. When exfoliant turns bad is when you press too hard on the skin, especially with exfoliants that have irregular points or shapes, like things with apricot seeds.
Okay. So yes, that is true. Our skin naturally regenerates and sloughs off in its own way. Our body is very intelligent in that. It generates more and then it becomes dust. But sometimes depending on your different skin condition or your skin type, it can have a harder time trying to get rid of dead skin, which then leads to clogged pores, which then leads to breakouts. So for example, I'm really oily and I'm acne prone, and using things like Different helps with that cell renewal process to make sure there's no buildup of dead skin that's clogging the pores, whereas other people are completely fine. You know, just the natural process, the way your body naturally sheds its skin will be more than enough and you'll have great skin. So it really does depend on your specific situation when it comes to exfoliating. And personally, like me, Rowena, and Mia, we just love gentle exfoliants, which I think we talk about very soon.
Apricot seeds or walnut shells, when you press too hard on the skin, it can actually cause microscopic tears, as well as it breaks away or brushes away healthy skin cells, so you're actually doing more damage than good. Now, there is a tip from a Korean show that I watched back then where if you have a very intense or abrasive product.
Yes, I think Mia is spot on there. We still stand by this today. So any time that you put too much force on your skin is probably not that great, because one, it's already kind of doing the job for you naturally. We need to just find ways to complement that process rather than like forcefully strip it away. And then second thing is, depending on the cloth or the tool or even the scrub product that you're using, pressing it too much into the skin or like rubbing it really hard can cause a lot of friction on the skin and therefore, you know, irritating it more, causing irritation when it doesn't necessarily have to be. So that's definitely true. A soothing, gentle approach is always good. And yeah, love it. Especially around eye area, you know, like we never want to rub anything under here because the skin is the most sensitive. And yes, gentle approach is best.
Abrasive product. In order to control the amount of force that you're using on your skin, use your pinky finger to massages, because that way you can control the amount of force and you're not breaking the skin as much. If I know that I'm wearing makeup, I will exfoliate.
Honestly, I just don't have the patience
both of them at the
to
same
use
time.
my pinky.
If I was using this one, then I won't be using the brush. So you either choose one or the other. Do not use them together because you then can risk over exfoliating your skin.
Okay, so Mia just said she would never use 2 physical exfoliators at a time, so the brush and a physical scrub. Yes, yes, girl. We don't even use these brushes anymore. What we do use is the Foreo. It's like sonic pulsations where the bristles are very clean. It's food grade silicone, so it's not going to attract a lot of bacteria. It's not going to hold a lot of that bacteria because when there's water, bacteria can flourish. These bristle brushes tend to be a little more nasty in terms of that because water is just kept in the brush, and we would definitely not use that with a scrub because that's like double whammy. That's quite terrifying to the skin. To round up, one, we don't really use a lot of these physical brushes anymore. Not saying that they're bad, but you also don't need it. We really love the Foreo. And then gentle approach is always best. I almost feel like you don't even need a physical scrub or exfoliator because the chemical exfoliants like AHAs and BHAs will naturally do that in a gentle manner. But it does really just depend on formulation and how much, you know, the percentage of these AHAs and BHAs are in the specific product, because sometimes it's a really low percentage of AHA which you can use daily, whereas other AHAs are like 30%, 20%. That's only designed for once a week. So it's all about formulation, but moral of that section is gentle is best. Ding! Acne treatments and chemical exfoliants. Ooh, this one's a little ambiguous. Let's see what we say.
With acne, you probably have a lot of different acne medicated products, and that includes salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide.
Oh my god, I just can't watch myself. This camera angle though, it's like coming from here.
Salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, and those are the 2 most popular ingredients to deal with acne. And then if you have chemical exfoliants like AHA or BHA, those really help to fight acne as well. For example, I use this Murad blemish clearing solution. This is actually a really gentle lightweight moisturizer, and it is medicated with benzoyl peroxide.
Okay. True, salicylic acid is a very popular acne active ingredient because it is oil soluble, which means it can go deeper down into the pores and really break down that gunk that is stuck in the pores, and also just help fight acne causing bacteria. And benzoyl peroxide is an ingredient that I really just suggest staying away from if you can, because it is so drying. It bleaches, you know, clothing. It's that strong, and it's very stripping, very drying. So even though it may help calm down the inflammation of acne, it can cause a lot of other drying effects, which then can also cause acne and more sebum production. And the Murad, I remember liking that. It was very lightweight, it wasn't greasy, and it wasn't too drying, so I still remember, yeah, liking that.
One time I used either the Drunk Elephant or this Luminosity Mandelic Maven Serum, which is another type of AHA, and then I used this one, and then I finished it off with the benzoyl peroxide acne
Dang
treatment.
girl, you had a lot of acne treatment products. Wait, did I really use all that in a routine? Dang.
And when I put those all together, my skin was like on fire.
Okay, that makes sense.
This
Fire!
is when you know that you've done something wrong. At first it was just kind of tingling and I was like, oh, this might just be, you know, normal.
Yes, you have definitely done something wrong, Felicia. And I remember this scenario that I'm describing very clearly. All of a sudden, like, all this breakout started occurring out of nowhere. Like, I was just confused, and so I was in Australia at the time and I went to Sephora and just bought acne fighting things. So the Drunk Elephant, the Mandelic, and the La Roche-Posay. Mia actually gave me that, and it had the benzoyl peroxide, and I put that all on and I got a rash all over my face. It was like an irritated rash with bumps everywhere.
But it continued to tingle, and then my eyes started tearing, and then I still thought for whatever reason that this was like part of the process. And I woke up the next morning and my whole face was like red and all these little tiny bumps because it was like every single pore of my skin had been irritated. So what do we do then? The best thing is to use them on different days.
Yes, I remember that. So I stacked all those products on, and man, looking back at this now, I am horrified. I'm so sorry. Because I was just, you know, like a lot of people who face acne problems, you're just desperate at certain times to like find a quick fix. And I don't really know what led it on at that time, but layering all these active ingredients that were so heavy with salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, AHAs all together just completely like singed my skin. That is a lesson learned. What I would say now is to take a more calmer approach, and if you do see that your skin is starting to break out or it's reacting to something, strip it all back. Like you can use maybe one of these products, maybe just the glycolic, you know, the Drunk Elephant glycolic serum, and then pair that with a really soothing moisturizer so that the active ingredients in the serum can do its thing. It has both AHA and BHA, and then your moisturizer is there to calm the skin and nourish it while, you know, the other ingredients are already working, rather than like layer after layer after layer of like really strong ingredients. It's like, oh, it's too much. And that's what happened.
So use benzoyl peroxide on one day, use your AHA or BHA on
use them on different days.
And just alternate the use, and that way it'll also help your skin build up the tolerance to actually...
Okay, so alternating, I think, yes, is still true. I still stand by that. I wouldn't necessarily use benzoyl peroxide unless it's maybe prescribed by your dermatologist or something like that. I would still go for a more gentler approach, first trying out AHAs and BHAs, which is salicylic acid. So the thing is, if you're buying a new product with it, like say you flare up, you go out and buy a new product, whatever it is that contains AHA or BHA, then I would put it on maybe like a certain area. If you want to be safe, put it on here, because if you're going to have a reaction, you're going to have a reaction and see it here. And then you can apply it to the face to be sure, and then see how it feels, see if there's any irritation the next day, and then you can slowly work it into your routine without completely overdoing it. So with AHAs and BHAs, it's not that they can't be used together, because some are even formulated together, and you can also layer like a glycolic acid toner with a BHA serum. But just know that the more that you do that, it can definitely be a little more irritating, a little more drying, because both those ingredients are designed to really speed up the cell renewal, and so it can irritate sensitive skin. And definitely just benzoyl peroxide, I just have no good experience with it. Every time I use it, I break out in a rash because it's just too strong.
To help your skin build up the tolerance to actually absorb these
so I wouldn't say it's building up the tolerance to absorb, it's actually building up the tolerance to take in these ingredients without irritating your skin. For example, start with the ordinary 10% and then go in with the niacinamide 20% after 1 to 2 months of using this and knowing that it works for your skin. And then you can upgrade to like a higher percentage or using it more frequently. The principle is, don't always start with the most. Having the most or the highest number is not the plan. You want to start slow, ease it into your routine, figure out how your skin reacts to it, and then move forward.
So vitamin C products are usually for brightening, for minimizing imperfections like uneven skin tone, hyperpigmentation, and reducing the appearance of scars. You see them a lot in like daytime moisturizers or serums, like the Drunk Elephant C Firma Day Serum or the Sunday Riley CEO Cream, as well as the Clinique Vitamin C Booster. So what can't you use, or what shouldn't you use with vitamin C? You want to stay away from using products with vitamin C, with products with AHA, BHA, like a really popular product that...
So what I said here, saying you can't use vitamin C and AHA, BHA, or benzoyl peroxide, is a little too absolute. Giving you guys an updated information. It's not that you can't use them together, But first of all, vitamin C or L-ascorbic acid can be used with AHA. Once again, it all comes down to the formulation. It all comes down to your personal skin and if you even need that combination, because AHA and L-ascorbic acid, if it is the actual L-ascorbic acid, work on a very similar pH level. They can work together. Like you can use a really low percentage glycolic acid toner like the Vit C toner and then pair it with a vitamin C serum and then just top it off with a really soothing and calming moisturizer. I don't think that's like terrible because they both do have regenerative qualities in them. It can work well, but obviously like pair it with a sunscreen. But that's the thing, if you're unsure, if you haven't used either AHAs or you haven't used vitamin C before, just use one. Like just simplify it, don't overcomplicate it and overdo it. You don't need to. So I love using vitamin C products during the day. So if you're going to be using a vitamin C product during the day and topping it off with a sunscreen, then you can try using and incorporating the AHAs or BHAs at night. So you can split them so you know that it's kind of like this well-rounded cycle where you're protecting your skin, because vitamin C is a free radical scavenger. It helps to generate, and stimulate collagen. It's an antioxidant, so it's just really great for using during the daytime, whereas AHA is great for cell renewal, for brightening overall, because it helps to slough away that dead skin, and that will be great at night. Or even vice versa. It's not that you can't use vitamin C at night, because there is that regenerating quality as well, so it's really up to your routine. And then vitamin C with BHA, I would also kind of split the two. I would use the vitamin C during the day and then my night BHA treatments for acne at night, because I just feel like during the day I want to protect and at night I want to heal and fix. So BHA is kind of like my nighttime routine. That's just for me.
Like a really popular product that includes both of these.
Man, I haven't used that drunk elephant glycolic night serum for ages.
BHA is a chemical exfoliant that really helps your skin break down the dead skin cells to kind of resurface the skin so that your skin isn't as dull. So if you've heard of salicylic acid, lactic acid, glycolic acid, these are all examples of AHA or BHA. And then also benzoyl peroxide. If you've suffered with acne, you would have heard of benzoyl peroxide, and it's one of those ingredients that really just kills the bacteria that causes acne, because it is pretty strong. And this one is the La Roche-Posay Dual Action Acne Cream, and this has 5.5% benzoyl peroxide.
And why can't we use it together? Well, basically it's all about the pH balance. What is pH, you're asking? pH basically means potential of hydrogen, which is a range from a level of acidity in the skin, and that's why a lot of times we put products on our face that throws the balance off, and then there are products that we put on our face to throw the balance back intact. For your skin to work at its optimum, it should be a pH level of 5. Why is this such an important thing? Because...
Yes, Mia, you got that one, girl. Okay, so even washing our face with water will essentially change the pH level of our skin, and especially with more acidic products, meaning it's lower down on the pH, like vitamin C's and AHAs, they can be a little more irritating. You have niacinamide and more calming ingredients that kind of help to rebalance. So when we wash our face, a lot of cleansers will show that the pH level of that cleanser is 5.5, which just means it won't be too stripping on the skin. It'll leave it still feeling nice and hydrated, rather than that really taut, uncomfortable feeling. Some ingredients like vitamin C, generally speaking, they should be applied a little earlier on in your skincare routine.
So products with vitamin C are as low as 3 on the scale, which means it's quite effective on the skin. But when you throw in AHAs and BHAs and glycolic acids, it can throw off the pH, and basically it affects the effectiveness of the vitamin C. Ultimately, you're pretty much doing nothing to the skin. You don't want to be spending all this money and all this time putting all these beautiful products on your face but not getting the full potential. So you might be asking, what does vitamin C work with? You can definitely use vitamin E and vitamin C together. They work hand in hand and they're great for nourishing the...
Yes, it's true. You could be spending a lot of money on skincare, hoping that each product is going to work wonders, but when you start layering too many of them on, it's not that it won't work, but it's almost overcomplicating it. Like now, I personally just want to let each ingredient shine through. And so if I want brightening effects, I'll use a vitamin C. If I want, you know, like overall soothing, pore minimizing, then I'll go in with a niacinamide and just let them kind of work individually without kind of trying to be a chemist too much. But also you have to keep in mind that vitamin C products have different derivatives, and so if it's a derivative, it's going to be less irritating rather than the pure L-ascorbic acid. But also it depends on the carrier, so whether it's in a water form or in an oil form. So usually L-ascorbic acid can be really effective in a water formulation up to a certain point, where then if you want to increase the level of vitamin C or L-ascorbic acid or whatever the derivative is, it's better to be formulated in an oil formulation. And we learned that through Prithvi, who is the Chief Scientific Officer of Deciem, the Ordinary, and we have a whole video on that, so you can watch our interview there. But it's very interesting, and yes, it does come down to each product's formulation. So for example, even the Sunday Riley, that's a moisturizer vitamin C, and it has the derivative vitamin, I think it's like ascorbyl phosphate, but I just find vitamin C most effective in a serum form. So vitamin C works really well with alpha-arbutin, vitamin E, ferulic acid, and those are the three best friends of vitamin C. So especially during the day, they have anti-aging benefits, collagen stimulating benefits, and antioxidants to fight off free radicals from pollution, and they just work really well together.
So face oil and hyaluronic acid. So it's not that you can't use these combinations together, it's more
Face oil and hyaluronic acid.
about the order that you use it in. So have you ever asked what order should I actually be applying my skincare products? So to explain it really simply, you want to go
I was like, don't tell me I told them you can't use hyaluronic acid in a face oil. I would.
from the lightest consistency
We're
to
safe.
the heaviest consistency. So that means you'll go from watery toners, essence, serum, and then you'll use creams and then oils. Because generally the products that are more watery in consistency have smaller cells, and those cells will sink deeper into your skin.
Oh my god, it's not true that these more watery consistencies have smaller cells. I think epic brain fart there. It's that they have a smaller molecular weight. Things like a hyaluronic acid toner aren't going to be able to penetrate through your skin if there's already a facial oil on there. And occlusives and, you know, these emollient nourishing ingredients are designed in a way in a moisturizer form so that the hydration doesn't then, you know, evaporate during the day. It's designed to help keep it and locked into the skin.
You want to put those on first so that it goes into the layers of the skin, and then everything that you put on top then like nourishes every additional layer on top of your skin. So back to how face oils won't work with hyaluronic acid. It actually is a naturally occurring chemical that your skin produces naturally. But in creams, especially for hydrating skincare, hyaluronic acid is really good for both skin types. It has the ability to hold 1,000 times its weight in water. So it actually helps to...
Oh my god, I hate hearing it's like said to death that it holds up to 1,000 times its weight in water. Although it's true, like our bodies naturally do produce hyaluronic acid, and when we have it in product form, they also come with different molecular weights, meaning there's a lot of sizes of hyaluronic acid. So the smaller they are, the deeper they're able to sink and penetrate into different areas of our skin, like through the epidermis. Whereas the bigger ones might just stay amongst the top and chill there. Like the Niod hyaluronic acid has 15 different types of hyaluronic acid. There's also the Rayel has 3 different types of hyaluronic acid. So that just means depending on how the brand formulates their hyaluronic acid product, it will do different layers of hydration for the skin.
Draw moisture to your skin. So when you're using creams with hyaluronic acid, the facial oil should actually be the last step of your skincare routine because it is the thickest in consistency. My favorite oils are the illuminating rosehip and cranberry facial oil.
Yeah, I would still use a facial oil towards the end. dabs.
And this is really great for sensitive skin. It's so smooth when you put it on. I also have this Sunday Riley UFO Ultra Clarifying Face Oil.
Completely forgot about that
I use this when I'm breaking
one.
out because it does have
I really did
salicylic
like that one
acid
at the
in it.
time.
And it really helps to just like
It just smelled really funky.
So I use this facial oil when I have good skin days, and then this one when I am breaking out a little anywhere. What happens if you put facial oil on and then a moisturizer is that your skin is actually blocked by the face oil, and then everything that you put on top of it can't sink deeper into the layers of the skin that actually need a lot of hydration. So when you put an oil on, it just stays on top of the skin. Also, hyaluronic acids work really well with retinols, and retinol it promotes your skin to regenerate faster.
Yes, retinol is great if you have acne, for, you know, plumping the skin to encourage collagen and elastin production. I love retinols. Normally retinols are like in a booster form or like in a moisturizer. So yes, retinols can be used with hyaluronic acid.
Benzoyl peroxide and retinols, both are two of my favorite ingredients because they both
still
do
stand by
amazing
this.
things.
Would
Benzoyl
not use
peroxide
together.
is a acne staple, although it's something that is very powerful and very strong, but for people who have acne, it works perfectly. At the same time, retinols are great for people who want less wrinkles, brighter skin, as well as acne scarring. So they both work as a chemical that is strong at removing the skin's barrier, peeling or removing or drying at your skin to allow new skin turnover.
Peeling, skin's peeling. Ugh.
And allow
Oh my
the
god,
new
this
skin to
graphic
shine
is
through a lot
hilarious.
faster. So the best way to use them is to use them separately.
New skin cells surfacing. Oh my god, love our text. So it's resurfacing of the skin, which just means it's generating new and fresh, because our skin is pushing out dead skin, right? It's just like a so it just speeds up that process. Yes,
And
that's
use
put
them in
very
separate
confusingly.
occasions. So whether you are using retinol for 2 nights in a row, and then you need to stop and maybe use the benzoyl peroxide 1 night in the week. And in between those, make sure you have another moisturizer that just hydrates the skin. Okay, so basically I use this benzoyl peroxide 5% acne concentrate lotion by Obagi.
Yes, I would definitely use those on 2 separate occasions. Oh my god, that is horrifying to think if you were to layer both of those on together. So we do still stand by that. As I said, try not to use benzoyl peroxide if you don't have to. I think it's definitely for more severe cases of breakouts and acne. But retinol was actually first discovered for its ability to help with acne, because it helps to control the sebum that's produced in your pores. It helps to shrink them and also help with skin renewal and regeneration. Because of that, it really helps to fight acne. And then they found that it helped with like plumping fine lines, and so it was therefore marketed as anti-aging. So if you have acne, retinol can definitely be an ingredient that you might want to explore, but just keep in mind that it does have drying effects and can be irritating if you haven't. So it's definitely one of those ingredients that you want to try once a week first and then build up your tolerance. We still agree with this. Try not to use those two together.
And this is a very high concentration of benzoyl peroxide. So I used to use this all over my face when I had bad acne breakouts, but nowadays it will burn my face off. So I use this as a spot treatment for places where I'm having acne breakouts, but I definitely would not use it at the same time as the retinol.
Yeah, so Mia and I both went through really bad stages of acne, like cystic acne. It caused so much like deep scarring that even Mia did like microdermabrasion. She did the microneedling to try to get rid of the scars. Like, it was deep and it was painful for us both. And she has fairer skin, I have a little bit more like medium tan skin, and it just caused so much hyperpigmentation. So we've definitely gone through our fair share of these really harsh ingredients. And as she said, like, she used to use that when she had really bad acne, but if she was to use it again, it will burn her face off. True that, because our skin really does go through a process of its own. Sometimes products will work at a certain point in time, and then afterwards, you know, we change and grow, and it won't work the same way, or it will be too much and too irritating and too strong. So just learn to like read your skin and how it's reacting.
This is the Intensive Clarity Treatment, 0.5% Pure Retinol Night. I definitely only use this once to twice a week, no more than that. Same thing with the retinol, you might want to...
Okay, so this PCA skin has 0.5 pure retinol. So that's way more user-friendly, I think, especially if you're just getting into it.
Once to twice a week, no
109
more than that. Same thing with the retinol, you might want to turn up the retinol percentage for nighttime. My 0.5 is enough for me right now, but I know in a couple of years' time I might need a 1% or a 2%. So it really depends on how your skin condition goes.
So in conclusion, 5 main things to remember. Look for products with hyaluronic acid, like moisturizers especially, because they're really good in holding moisture in your skin, and it's a really sensitive ingredient, so it works for all skin types. Remember that
it's not a sensitive ingredient. It doesn't have feelings, Fel. But it's a soothing, hydrating ingredient that can really help to plump up your skin. And probably one of the biggest things that we've learnt over these like 3 years is that hydration is key to clear skin. So if your skin has enough water content, it's going to be plump, your cells are hydrated, and it will really help with brightening the skin naturally without brightening ingredients, and you won't get kind of that like ashy look. You know, you won't get rough patches, and it will be helpful with like anti-aging, because aging happens when our skin is very dehydrated. So we need hydration for that.
Essence or serum, moisturizer or cream, and then at night if you want to use a facial oil, seal it with a facial oil. 3, make sure you're only using one exfoliant.
Still agree with this. Go from lightest to
because
thickest of consistencies.
When you start mixing different acids, that's when it becomes a little bit scary. Next thing is, if you ever feel any sort of tingling or pain or any sort of like irritation on your skin, just wash it off. Sometimes you put on products and it stings for a little bit and it goes away. I'm not talking about that, because that's completely fine.
Okay, so with the third one, use one chemical exfoliant at a time. I think if you're just getting into it, this is a great way to start. So just test how your skin reacts to these ingredients first. And then when you know for sure, yes, I can use glycolic, yes, my skin reacts well to lactic, even niacinamide or vitamin C, anything like that. And once you know it's an ingredient that can work well for you, then you can start learning and finding the ingredients that pair well with those ingredients, which we also have a video on, so you can like click somewhere here. Once you get to know your skin, which is the most important part, and what it works well with, then you can start like thinking of mixing and matching. But it's not to say that you should only use one at a time, because, you know, it's a process, but we first have to find out the foundation first and then build on it.
Is prolonged and it just keeps feeling like really strange, wash it off.
Okay, yes, I still agree with that. Like, I know with glycolic acid, some of them kind of cause this tingling, but that should subside in like 10 seconds and it shouldn't cause prolonged pain. But I think if it starts like really ramping up in terms of pain, and then your eyes are tearing and like it's just discomfort, it's itchy, then I would definitely wash it off, because that's not something that is normal and you shouldn't tolerate it. And it might not necessarily even be that you can't use that ingredient. It might just be the percentage or that formula is a little bit too high. And it could also be the fact that maybe other ingredients in this new product you could be trying is causing the irritation. So once again, strip it back to start low and start slow. Start low, start slow.
And then 5th and last tip is always remember to wear a sunscreen. Whether you have oily skin or not.
So proud that you mentioned that, Fel.
Don't clog your pores, and you want to look for ones that are non-comedogenic, and that will help you from breaking out. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video.
Okay, let's just stop it there. So sunscreen, I am so proud. Yes, we mentioned sunscreen. And thankfully now, I think ever since this video, there's been so many great sunscreens that we've come across. Like, for example, this one is my favorite. The Centella Green Level from Purito. There's also the Crave Beauty, which I have here. It's always on hand because we love, actually all my sunscreens are here. All the favorite ones. So Centella, Crave Beauty, and La Roche-Posay. These are all really lightweight, very glowy. They apply like a dream. They don't clog pores. They don't cause breakouts. They're The Crave has a bunch of antioxidants. This is very calming and soothing, and the La Roche-Posay is almost like tinted, so just depending on what you're doing that day, what consistency you like, and they're all pretty affordable. Those are my top sunscreens that I would recommend to anyone and everyone. So I think that was the best way to stop that video. Okay, it wasn't as cringeworthy as I thought. You know, what we say through these videos can sometimes be like very cut and dry, like don't do this and do this, but skincare really is personal and it's unique to everyone, and so you almost have to take these with a grain of salt. We like to share with you guys the general information and what we find, you know, at any given point, but you just have to understand that you have to first figure out what works for you, which is very important. You know, turning it back within to find the beauty within. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. For those of you who are wondering where's Mia, Mia is still in Australia. She's actually married now, yay! And because of that, you know, Rowena and I are doing the channel, and that's not to say that Mia's not going to come back. She definitely is when there's an opportunity in New York. So yes, we're actually going to keep doing these videos and, you know, revisiting the videos that have gone viral on our channel, basically meaning they got over like 1 million views, and fact check ourselves. It's just part of the process. We're still learning. We're always learning and sharing with you guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. But the thing is, we're going to continue this series through our membership. And if you join our membership, you'll see there's different tiers, $4.99, $10.99. And we're also launching a new one, which is very personalized for you guys. We want to help build the community and kind of be able to chat with you more. So that one's a little bit more, but we give personalized tips and tricks and get to know you guys a little bit more. These videos will be specifically for our members, so we hope you guys join the Beauty Within family so that we can keep growing, we can keep spreading positivity and just really build ourselves all up together. Thank you for watching this video. Oh my god, I'm still cringing. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye.